Hi, this is Era Sunbaum with Sam Houston State University, and we are going to talk about establishing a baseline for what is leadership in our class about administrative leadership in technology integration. So is it the same as management? Leadership and management are a little bit different. Management is the coordination of resources to meet organizational goals, and managers have to work within organizational constructs to achieve these goals by using the resources in the most efficient way possible. A manager is not necessarily a leader, and a leader may not be a manager. So to be a leader, you don't necessarily have to manage people or organizational goals, but leaders have new ideas and leaders have the charisma that can drive people to follow their ideas and to implement new things. So leaders are the people who are engendering the new ideas, and managers are the ones that make things happen within an organization. It's a struggle to find a definition of leadership. When we navigate change in a technology-rich environment, leaders have to have strong characteristics to help colleagues and organizations maintain the continuous growth. So leadership deals with the broader aspect of achieving goals and objectives. In a technology-rich environment, things are constantly changing, and leaders must know how to effectively manage and navigate this change. Some characteristics of managers have to be an openness of mind as well as a ability to navigate changes and things that happen along the way. So an open mind is a very important part of being a leader in a technology-rich environment. My Papa Charlie, my grandpa, used to say, AD, you just need to know how to manage people. Servant leadership is something that I've been interested in for a long time, and educational technology professionals have to commit to service leadership as practitioners in this field. So rather than being trained as professors, we're trained as practitioners and promoters of instructional technology. We may not know all of the information that the history professor knows or that the computer science professor knows, but what we do know is how to integrate technology into education. And on a daily basis, we need to be able to sit with our faculty members or the people that we are using and help them to navigate these technology breakthroughs. So change requires a lot of skills and behaviors in a technology leader. Some of these changes include sound judgment, the ability to prioritize change, promote innovation, use data wisely, advocate for change, manage risk, continuously chase quality, embrace change, think globally as well as locally, stay current in a field, plan and strategize, and leverage appropriate resources. Change management is something that a technology leader must do on a daily basis. This includes navigating new technologies as well as ascertaining whether these technologies could and should be implemented into an organization. So professional development leaders, such as instructional technologists, often do not have the same content knowledge or instructional skill as faculty or staff that they support. Leadership methods and traits are very important in this field. We need to learn how to serve our faculty, especially in a higher education setting, by knowing exactly what technology needs will help them to improve their instruction. At this point, we're the technology experts and they are the subject matter experts. So I may not know a whole lot about a certain subject, but I can certainly help them to integrate technology into their field to improve their instruction. The other thing that is important to know when you're dealing with a higher ed setting is pedagogy. It's important to know learning theories and a little bit of psychology about students and how people learn so that we can effectively navigate what technology tools our faculty may use in their instruction. As stated by Weckerle and Dysart, by modeling both good technological and pedagogical practices as part of the professional development and allowing instructors to experience what it's like to use them in practice, we are, in essence, practicing what we preach. So there's some situational differences that might occur in project management. The first is the maturity of the project. If it's the beginning of the project, the needs will be completely different than the needs at the end of the project. At the beginning, we may need to lead more. We may need to have more suggestions. We may need to analyze what the status is more. And at the end, it may be more reminding people what the goals are or something like that. The other thing is the type of project. This could be a corporate project. It could be an educational project. It could be a service project. There's a lot of different projects that can be managed by a technology leader. The other thing that's important is the composition of the team. Every team is different, every class is different, and every student is different. So when you're a technology leader, you need to realize the differences in personalities of the people that you may be dealing with. Your 2 p.m. class may be different than your 4 p.m. class. That's something that instructors deal with on a daily basis, and instructional technologists and designers also deal with on a daily basis. That's something that we need to regulate and make adjustments for as we are doing our jobs. Which brings us into thought leaderships. What are the actions of a thought leader? Thought leaders are known for their ideas. They're the inspirational people. They have grand ideas, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. But they're known for somebody who's innovative, that can look at something a little bit differently, that can inspire others with their ideas. There's somebody who may have a little bit of that charisma that says, hey, maybe we should look at this a different way. Thought leaders also take intelligent risks. They don't take silly risks. They think about it and they say, okay, well, I might fall completely on my face, but I might be successful. And those kind of risks are the things that make successful thought leaders in our society. Thought leaders also stand up and speak up for their ideas. They're not afraid to say, hey, I have a different idea. Maybe we should try it this way. And a lot of the time, we need to go ahead and we need to listen to them, and we need to say, oh, you know what? Maybe I've been doing it this way, but maybe there is a better way to do something. Those are the true thought leaders of our generation. Another aspect of leadership is leadership of teams. Instructional designers or technologists may be called upon to lead teams or to manage projects. Skills exhibited will be different depending on what the needs are. Sometimes the needs will require us to simply manage a project. We might manage the implementation of a new technology or the validation of something that we're currently using. At other times, we might need to lead people to determine something that we would want to make a change in regarding technologies. Reiser and Dempsey state, at times you need to be a leader and at other times a manager. So sometimes you need to be a leader and you need to ask those thought-provoking questions of your team, and you need to push them to think a little bit differently. And then other times you just need to manage the day-to-day operations and the bottom line. And a good leader will know at what times these things need to happen. So living in the 21st century, virtual leadership is very important. Communication is really key. We need to establish a fluid, dynamic entity according to Reiser and Dempsey. This means that the communication in a virtual or online environment may need to be even more specific than those communications in a face-to-face environment. We need to leverage the affordances that we can make in today's technology-rich society. We need to use all of the options that we have available that we can to communicate in this day and age. These can include text messaging, email, social media, and any form of online communication. To enable innovation and change, we must be open to these new opportunities that allow us to communicate with each other.